But I will talk about this. So, because I just got people incensed and crazy with this, but it's got to be talked about. So, at Miss Kate Fabe, Mary Kate Miss, she's Kate whatever from Fightful. Now, God, she is probably, again, I'm not trying to take, it's the holidays, folks, but she just has some of the worst fucking takes ever, to where it's like, I don't think, if she's a wrestling fan, she's either like one of these people who is a wrestling fan now because she could get a job in wrestling and like writing for wrestling because she couldn't write anywhere else, which is what I suspect, or it's just one of these people who don't, is just like is a casual, a very, I don't know, I don't want to make assumptions, but it's just her shit is, now everybody can have their own opinions, right? But when you work for Fightful, that a lot of times, yes, they have opinion pieces, that's cool, but they're also presented as like the end all be all for news and shit. So I say, I've said it before on the show, pick a fucking lane. Either you guys are all reporting news and you have one person who's like your established opinion piece person, and then you do your opinions and shit over on your podcasts and stuff. And like, you got to pick a fucking lane to me. There's always been the op-ed piece though, so I'm not mad at people having opinions. That's not it. But it's just the way that they attack. So, okay, we had Edge. So listen to this tweet first off. And this is in regards to, on NXT, Ridge Holland begged Ilja Dragunov for a title match, got the title match, dropped Ilja on his fucking head. And then, but it was work. It's a work angle. And Ilja is playing like he broke his neck. You know, Ridge is the guy who dropped Big E on his neck and broke Big E's neck, like for a shoot. So and so it's an injury angle, first and foremost, guys. Okay, it's an injury angle. It's been done since the beginning of time of fucking pro wrestling. It's the oldest angle in the book. Back in the day, motherfuckers would break someone's neck and go, I'm glad I broke your neck, you motherfucker, you know? And that's how you'd get heat. Now, do you not think, well, we'll get into this, but what Miss Kate Fabe, shout her out, Merry Christmas, what she tweeted out was wildly tone deaf ending even for NXT. So like, think about just that. And she goes, atrocious. So she goes, wildly tone deaf ending even for NXT. Atrocious. Wildly tone deaf ending even for NXT. Like, NXT has a history of tone deaf endings. Why? Because they did the Braun Breaker head smash. So when Edge ends Collision by concertoing a fucking 18-year-old kid and he's sitting there twitching in front of his mother, that's not tone deaf. When we have exploding super boot finishes and fucking people's being stabbed in the head with fucking screwdrivers to end AEW, people being slammed on bed and nails, people being attacked with beer bottles by devils and shit. That's all good, but this is tone deaf even for NXT. That's like one of the most chill, easy to digest wrestling shows other than Two Angles here, which are sports-based. Injury is sports-based, dude. And she writes, so wildly tone deaf ending even for NXT. Atrocious. An injury angle's atrocious. Do you guys really think WWE didn't talk to Big E on the phone since this all happened? You don't think Ridge and Big E haven't talked? Like, these people act like everything's like AEW, where we're in cliques and we're not friends. Or we are friends, but we're in cliques. Bro. So I quote tweeted this, and I got people insane. Nearly 20K views, hundreds of fucking likes and comments of people going out to block people. There's people going crazy over this. I tweeted out, the people who work for Fightful are all largely not even wrestling fans. They're activists posing as wrestling fans because they can't make it in real journalism and don't understand a simple thing like an injury angle done in pro wrestling. Wrestling is quote unquote atrocious to them. And that's what the fuck it is. And I'm going to drop myself one of these. And I'm sorry. I got to go so hard in the paint on Miss Kate. But it's just the goddamn truth. And I just somebody wrote, and for most of them, so this is shout out Movie Marvin. Marvin the Monster. He's we listened to his song at the top of the show. I'll play it again in a bit. So he wrote, and for most of them, it's only atrocious when WWE does it. And I wrote, dude gets hung with a chain after having a brick smashed over his head in AEW, which I thought was dope, and they applaud it. WWE works an injury angle, the oldest angle possibly ever in pro wrestling, and it's, quote, atrocious. They're more Muppetier than even you, movie Marvin. It's so true. And that's the truth, dude. AEW does the match with Swerve, which I liked, where they drink blood, smash a brick, and hang a guy with a fucking chain. And that's all great. And oh, he's so over, but that's not atrocious. But a fucking injury angle that was clearly a work is atrocious. Dummies. Yeah.
Dummy. Yeah.
Oh my God. Guys, it's Christmas. I don't want to spend too much time going at fucking people.